Hi, this is Kitty Boitnott of teachersintransition.com. I'm the owner of Boitnott Coaching, and I'm so glad that you're here for this free workshop on changing your career. How do you know when it's time for a change? This is a totally free workshop or masterclass, and I hope that you will find great value in it if you are at a place in your life where you are thinking it's time to make a change. So this presentation is for you, and I want you to consider if you currently love your job, like love it, in love with it. You can't wait to go to work every day. If that's the case, then you don't need to be here. This is not a message for you. This message is for people who are not so sure that they love their current job and they're thinking it might be time to make a change, but they're fretting about it. They're worried about what to do next, how to find help, how to make it happen. And so maybe you're spending more of your time than you'd like thinking about a future that feels uncertain, and the only thing you know for sure is that you'd rather not have to do what you're doing right now for the next 15 or 20 years. So this is the right place for you. You are in the right spot if you feel like you meet one of the following three criteria. Or maybe you're a combination. It might be that you're a blend. A, you hate your current job and you're ready to break free of it once and for all. You just don't know where to start. That's where a lot of people are. Or B, you've been unemployed, maybe. You've been let go or downsized or riffed, and now you're unemployed or underemployed, and you've been that way for a while, trying to figure this job search business out on your own. You are thinking that now that the economy has gotten stronger and unemployment is down to 3.5% or whatever it is, that you should be able to find something. But again, you don't know where to begin. Or maybe you're C. Maybe you're just out of work. Things have happened. You don't have a job right now. You're looking, but nothing's happening fast. And you don't know exactly why. You're not sure what you're doing wrong. You may be a blend of A, B, or C. But if you're here, it's possible that you fall into one of those three categories. I'm here to help. In case you don't know me, I'm Kitty Boitnott, and I am the owner of Boitnott Coaching, or as I mentioned earlier, teachersintransition.com. I also have a blog at teachersindistress.com. I was named one of the top 25 career coaches online in 2016. I am currently a member of the Forbes Coaches Council, and I write regularly for Forbes.com. I have been a featured expert with AARP. I formerly worked for 14 months with the owner and team at workitdaily.com. I am an author, a speaker, and work in primarily the area of career development, although I also offer a workshop on stress management. I'm a certified life strategies coach, a certified stress management coach, a certified holistic life coach, and a certified sleep science coach. In addition to all of that, I'm also a licensed minister. So I have a vast variety of credentials, and I've been working in this field since April of 2013. So I'm coming up on my 5th year anniversary. And what I want to share with you is good news. Regardless of where you are in your job search continuum or your career continuum, the good news is that you are the architect of your own life and your own career. That's good news. That means you always get a choice. You're always choosing your next move. That's the good news. The bad news is that choosing can be hard. And it's especially difficult if you feel that you're of a certain age and you don't feel like you've got time to be playing around and making mistakes. I get that. But I ask my clients who are concerned about making mistakes, so what? What if you do make a mistake? It's not the end of the world. Learn from your mistakes and move on. The only people who aren't making mistakes are people who aren't trying. You need to take your mistakes and turn them into learning opportunities. And keep it in mind that if you're making mistakes, it's because you are trying. Now here's another truth, and that is that there's no way to get around it, that job hunting or changing your career is confusing, it's complex, it can feel very daunting to say the least, and everybody that you ask will have a different opinion and give you different advice, and so you wind up more confused. So I want you to sit back, take notes, get some paper and pencil. Don't sit back and relax too much, but sit back and listen. Turn off your phone, stop the multitasking, close your email. For the next little while, I would love to spend time with you, sharing with you what I've learned about what it takes to find or create your dream job, whatever that is for you. So here's my promise. In this presentation, you are going to learn the only way for you to find or create the job of your dreams is to know and understand 3 basic secrets. And those 3 secrets can guide you to the job of your dreams. Now, I'm going to offer what those 3 secrets are. I'm also going to be offering a proven strategy for how you can make it happen for you. And I want it to happen for you sooner rather than later. Now, as an enticement to get you to stay until the end, there's a gift. It's my 10 things you need to know if you think you're ready for a job search or a job or career change. It's a 94-page guide. It includes my best advice and several articles that have been curated from my 5 years of writing about career development, career change, career transition, and stress management. Fair warning, there will be an offer toward the end, but I hope you won't let that scare you off. You don't have to buy anything, but if you find the offer compelling and you think it would be of value, I would invite you to stick around and learn more about what the offer entails. So just quickly, in case you don't know me, I was president of the Virginia Education Association from 2008 to 2012. Before that, I was mostly a school librarian, elementary level librarian. Loved that job, best job in the building. For 3 long years in my early career, I taught 6th grade language arts and discovered that middle school was not my niche. So imagine my disappointment when I was winding up my term at the VEA in the spring of 2012, and my school division called me to offer a position for me to come back to after my long sabbatical or my long leave of absence. And they didn't have any libraries for me. What they had was a middle school English position. And when they told me that, my heart just sank. I knew I was too exhausted. I was too tired to want to take on middle school. I was really too tired probably to do elementary, truth be told. I was exhausted. That was the only thing I knew for sure, that I was exhausted physically, mentally, emotionally. Like a wet dish rag, I just felt wrung out. So I had to say no. I knew I couldn't bring my best work to those kids, and they deserved better than I had to offer at the time. So I took some time off. I needed to rest. I needed to relax. I needed to get back to me again. After 4 years of relentless stress and difficulties, challenges, not just to me personally and professionally, but to the organization, I had 100 different reasons to be tired and to need a break. So I took 6 months off. And it was great. I was so lucky that I had that opportunity, and I'm grateful for it. But in January of 2013, I decided to hire a career coach because I was just like everybody else who's starting out. I did not know what I wanted to do next. I didn't know how to write a resume. I didn't know where to be looking for the types of jobs I might enjoy. And after 6 months off, frankly, the idea of working for somebody didn't have a great deal of appeal. But I decided to give it a shot, and I hired a coach to help me figure it out. What did I want to do next? She encouraged me to get out of the house and go do some networking, which I did. I found myself at a presentation where the main speaker was going to be speaking to the topic of follow your passion, find your next job. And I was riveted. I felt like he was talking to me the entire time, me personally, because I got it, what he was trying to say. I got that sometimes when you take a job that isn't in alignment with your core values, with your natural strengths, with your aptitude, your talents, your God-given gifts, when you do that, you feel like you're swimming upstream all the time, and it's exhausting. Not to mention that you don't feel successful. And he also shared some other pretty startling statistics. This was all in February of 2013. And in January of that year, the Gallup poll had come out, revealing that, according to their survey, 70% of Americans reported feeling like they hated their job or they were disengaged in their job. In other words, they were just going through the motions, whatever, just to do what I have to do to get by. And when he shared that statistic, I remember thinking, I don't want to be part of the I Hate My Job Club. I mean, do you? By then, I had turned 60. My dad died in an accident at the age of 63, so I was maybe more than usual acutely aware that time was of huge importance to me. And I kept thinking life is just too short for me to want to do anything, work in any capacity for a single day if I didn't love it. I wanted to feel like this young woman. I wanted to feel like, yeah, I've got this. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. For me, that meant reinventing and retooling myself. Even though I wasn't even sure that coaching was a real job, I decided to give it a shot. I ran it by my career coach, and she encouraged me to at least explore it. And once I did that, once I started looking at what was available and how I might be able to build my own business, be my own boss, set my own schedule, I was in. And out of that was born Boitnott Coaching. I started my business on April 6, 2013. And the rest is history, as they say. That's how I know that this works, that this reinvention, retooling, transitioning process, whether you're a teacher who's in mid-career crisis and wanting to find something else because you feel burnt out, sometimes burnt to the core, or a mid-career professional who may be bored because you can no longer find challenge and satisfaction in what you're doing, wherever you happen to be. If I could reinvent and retool myself at the age of 60 and start completely over, what would stop you from doing the same? Now, I know you may be skeptical. You think, well, that's great for you, Kitty. How's that going to work for me? I just want you to suspend your disbelief. for a few minutes, just for now if you can. And I want you to know that if you've tried in the past and failed, it's not your fault. You just didn't have all the information that you need. And if you're concerned that you won't be successful this time and you just don't want to get your hopes up, I want you to put those fears to rest. I want to help you know that beyond the shadow of a doubt, you can do this. You can take charge of your own life. It's within the realm of your possibility. I know this. I also know that in order for you to be successful, not only do you need to be a big dreamer, but you also need to be prepared to create goals and benchmarks, and then you need to be willing to take action. The truth is that the job fairy is not going to come knocking on your door. You're going to have to do some of the work yourself. But you start with setting free the dream of what it is that you really want. And you get really specific about it. One of the exercises that I offer is that you should write in a journal in explicit detail. Where do you want to work? What kind of work environment? Who do you want to work with? What kind of work would you be doing? What would your work product look like or feel like? Make it real. And then be willing to take action. Now, most of you who are listening to this right now are probably at the novice level or the learner level. You're not yet skilled at this whole thing of job searching, or you wouldn't be here. You're beginning. You're a beginner. I want you to take advantage of my expertise. I worked with an international career organization for 14 months. I worked with clients from all walks of life, all over the world. During that 14 months, I learned what the corporate world is looking for. And when I left that position, I committed myself to helping teachers and other mid-career professionals figure out what was next for them and then figure out what they could do to get themselves to where they want to go. So that's what I want to do for you. I want to share with you the 3 secrets. So are you ready? They're not really secrets, but they are important to keep in mind. So here's secret number 1. You have to know what you want. I know, it sounds so simple, right? How about simple but not easy? Some of the simplest things in the world are not easy to accomplish. They're simple, not easy. This is one of those. Answer the question, what do you want? And you can have the keys to the kingdom. 99 out of 100 people that I ask when I first start talking with them about what is it that they might want to do next, they have no clue. So if you're in the no clue club, don't worry about it. You fit right in. Most people haven't allowed themselves the freedom to consider what other possibilities they might have in front of them. And if you can't see them, you certainly can't consider them. So one of my roles as a coach is to help open up the vista of opportunities that are out there that you're not aware of yet. It's quite exciting. I love doing that for folks. Now, secret number 2 is that you have to learn how to use different job search tools properly. And you need to observe the necessary protocols. It's a complicated process, and it doesn't necessarily move in a straight line. It's a schematic. And if you don't know the rules of the game, you can't win at the game. It's just like any other game. And you need to consider it a game. Not life or death. It's a game. But if you don't know how to play, you can't win. And the third secret, which may be the toughest one, you have to develop the determination and the perseverance and the patience to put all the tools together, to do all of the learning first, put all the tools together, learn all the protocols, know what the rules are, and then put it all together in such a way that you are ultimately successful in your search. It also requires a powerful plan of execution. And I wish I could tell you that it was a simple, straightforward move from point A to point B to point C kind of a deal. It's not. You'll feel like you're on a hateful roller coaster. You'll feel like one day you've got the world by its tail and everything's going your way, and that interview went great and I'm pretty sure they're going to offer me the job. And then you get the email or the call that says, yeah, you did great, but we went with someone else. That hurts. Rejection hurts, but it's part of the deal. I want you to know that just taking action in the direction of your dream can make a big difference in your outlook, your attitude, even your physical demeanor. This is a message that I got from Deanna, a client of mine who signed up last spring. Within a few days, she emailed me to say, I have to tell you, the spring in my step is back. I'm already feeling reinvigorated. This investment has brought remarkable value already. She had been in the program less than a week, and she already felt empowered in a way that she hadn't felt for months. So let me ask you a question. If you were to follow these 3 secrets of successful job searching, and you had help deciding what you want and the tools that you need, and you developed a powerful plan of execution, do you think you could be successful? Of course you could. It's like baking a cake. If you have all the proper ingredients and you put them all together in the proper order and you follow all the directions correctly, boom, you got a cake. But if you forget something, if you leave off an ingredient or you forget to turn on the oven, all you've got at the end is cake dough, cake batter. So one of the things that I do for folks is I help them figure out what direction they want to go, and I help them develop the focus that they need. I liken it to planning a vacation. You know, a lot of people write a resume first, and then they start looking for a job. To me, that's like booking your hotel and airfare before you know where you're going. So I think that's backwards. You pick your destination first, right? And then you book your travel arrangements and you book your hotels, and you may plan some little side trips along the way, but you're still, one destination ultimately. That's how your job search should be. You pick the direction you want to go, the types of jobs, the cluster of career possibilities, and then you stick to that. You write resumes that will go with that. Now, you don't ever do a one-and-done resume. You have to tweak your resume for every single time you apply for a job. You have one resume from which you will work, but you will always tweak. Same for a cover letter. You never have a one-and-done cover letter. Every cover letter should be unique and personalized. It should create a connection between yourself and the reader. So, dear sir, dear madam, to whom it may concern, that won't cut it in a cover letter. You also need a powerful LinkedIn profile, one that shows off all of your various skills and talents. Your LinkedIn profile is not your resume, at least not yet. It's way more than your resume could ever be. Your resume is limited in length. Your LinkedIn profile can be as long as you want. You can include artifacts, documents, video clips, whatever you want. Sky's the limit on your LinkedIn, as long as it's relevant to what it is you want to be doing next. I wouldn't put everything but the kitchen sink in there, but it needs to be powerful and complete. You also want to pay attention to how you show up on other social media platforms. And especially important is, how do you prep for an interview? How do you show up for an interview? How do you create the odds of your being selected as a finalist? And then how do you close the deal? It's a lot. It's a lot to keep up with. It's a lot to take into account. It's a lot to learn. It's a lot to execute. It really all boils back down to, though, what is it that you want? And for people who are really struggling with that, and often they are, I recommend that you think back to when you were really little. What was it that you wanted to be or do or have before someone told you no, that wasn't possible, that wasn't practical? Get a real job. You do that as a hobby. You want to be a musician? Do that as a hobby. Get a real job. Go to school. What if Bruce Springsteen had done that? So, the next thing that you want to do is consider, what are you most afraid of? What's holding you back from starting? Is it fear of failure? For some people, it's actually the fear of success, believe it or not. I want you to consider, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? I often ask people, if money weren't an issue, what would you be doing right now? If you knew you couldn't fail at whatever it was that you undertook, what would you do? What would your life look like? And it's important, too, to remember that maybe finding a job isn't the key for you. Maybe it's creating a job. We are moving into an entrepreneurial-based economy. That is a fact. And a 2015 Intuit software report indicated that by 2020, more than 40% of the American workforce, or 60 million people, will be freelancers, contractors, and temp workers. Now that also includes speakers, writers, consultants, people who are offering services not as part of their employment, but as part of their endeavor to provide service for a fee to someone who wants and needs that service. This same report said that by 2022, the number of small and personal businesses in the U.S. alone will be more than 7 million. And here's the kicker. Full-time, full-benefit jobs are going to be harder to find. Most of these businesses that we're talking about will be web or mobile-based. Many of them will work with a global workforce, and most people will be working remotely, either from home or some other place of their choosing. In 2020, 1 in 6 Americans will be older than 65, and we aren't going anywhere. We're not the traditional senior. I'm certainly not like my grandmother was when she turned 65. I'm not hanging up my shingle. I'm not saying, I'm done now, I'm going to sit around. Not that she just sat around. She sewed and went to church, and she did plenty of things. But I'm not that. I want to stay busy. I want to stay feeling like I'm contributing in a meaningful way. And that's how everybody, most everybody, feels. So what does all that mean for you? Where will you be in 2020? That's just 2 years from now. Where will you be in 2025 or 2040? What are the jobs of the future even going to be? Some of the jobs we have today will be gone. Just like many of the jobs of the 50s, gone. Things come, things go. That's the nature of the world. It's how change works. It's how the economy works. We grow, we expand, we contract. Jobs come, jobs go. Now, I know not everyone wants to be an entrepreneur, but what I'm trying to get you to do is to think in terms of, what is your dream job? Does it involve staying in the same industry but looking for a different position, or does it mean leaving your industry altogether and starting fresh somewhere? The good news is you don't have to change everything overnight. In fact, I don't want you to do that. I want you to be strategic, not impulsive. I want you to think in terms of small steps, but small steps lead to big changes. I also want you to recognize that there's no point in delaying getting started either. There's a Chinese proverb that says the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the next best time is today. Yeah, I like sharing the story of John Grisham, the author of 30-plus legal thrillers and other novels, because he started out as an attorney in a small law firm in Mississippi. He had an idea for a novel after witnessing a particular trial, but he didn't have time to write it. He had small children, a wife, law practice to keep going. So he committed to himself that he would go into the office 30 minutes early every day, and he would write for that 30 minutes before the phone started to ring and before people started showing up. And he did that. He would write 2 or 3 pages a day. At that rate, it took him 3 years to write his first novel. And then he had trouble getting it published. Nobody wanted it. So he kept trying until he finally found somebody to publish it. And he started on his next book, which had come to him. The first book wasn't a big blockbuster hit, but the second one was. And by the time the Pelican Brief came out, he was well on his way to being a best-selling author. Movies were being made from his books. He was set for life financially, and he continued to write and create. Now he's a full-time writer. He listened to his inner voice. He didn't let that first story go. He didn't give up on his dream of being able to write because he didn't have time, or because he was too busy, or because it wasn't convenient. So I want you to listen to what your inner voice is saying to you about what you might want to do next in your life. And I want you to consider what that inner voice is saying, unless that inner voice is telling you you can't. If it's telling you you can't do that, who do you think you are to do that? I do not want you to succumb to that, because everybody has that. Everybody. Not a human being alive who didn't have moments of doubt. But committed individuals keep going anyway. Janice Stanfield has a song that I like to play when I'm feeling particularly challenged. The first line of it goes, "What would I do today if I were brave?" And I like to challenge myself with that. If I were brave, what would I do today? So I would offer that as a challenge for you too. Think in terms of, if you had the courage, what would you be doing instead of what you're doing now? It's a key, maybe a clue to where you want to go next. Now, I'm also going to be honest and say that not everybody can make these massive changes in their lives by themselves. That's why people like me exist. That's why coaches have developed thriving businesses. We help people figure out what their next steps are. We are not therapists, so we don't deal with past stuff. We don't get into the baggage of what may have been holding you back up until now. We start with now, and we move you into your future. And in your future, I suspect there is a dream job that you would love to have. You just don't know how to get yourself there. So I'd like to help. And that's where my Jumpstart Your Job Search program comes into play. This is my signature program. It's based on my 5 years of experience helping hundreds of individuals figure out what it is they want to do next, and then what steps do they need to take in order to get themselves where they want to go. And the answer is different for everybody. I don't try to prescribe jobs for people. I help you uncover what your unique calling is. Now, when you purchase the Jumpstart Your Job Search program, you get lifetime access to it, which means you can log in as often as you want forever, and it's yours. You can download the modules. If something were to ever happen and I decided I'm going out of business for some reason, I would give you warning, assuming that I could, and I would let you know you need to download all the modules on your computer and put them in a folder. You might want to do that anyway, so you don't have to keep up with the login credentials. But you have lifetime access excuse me, to that program once you've purchased it. It's a 10-part online curriculum. It's completely digitized, and it's available to you 24/7 so that you don't have to work on my schedule. Excuse me. You work on your own schedule. But I also don't just leave you out there trying to figure it all out by yourself either. With this program, and this is part of the new revamped version of the program. It has been in the past a 90-day program. It went up to a 120-day program, a 4-month program. I'm upping it now to a 6-month program. The average job search is 4 to 9 months, so 6 months is right there, it's squarely in the middle. I want to offer you the support you may need for a full 6 months while you retool, reinvent, and transition yourself from where you are, at least on the path to where you want to be. At the end of 6 months, you may not actually have the job of your dreams, but you'll be well on your way toward positioning yourself for it. And you won't feel like you've been left high and dry. Included in the 6 months of unlimited email coaching, there are going to be 12, used to be 8, now it's 12 group coaching calls. We use Zoom technology, and we meet bi-monthly every other Monday. The next cohort is starting April 9th at 7:00 p.m. Daylight Saving Time. You'll also be invited to a private Facebook support page where you will have the support that you need, in addition to the group coaching and the email support. Each of the modules includes a video tutorial with me talking about the topic of the day, and there are additional resources that are available along with each module. Links, recommended reading, recommended exercises or assessments. Depending on the module, the resources fit the module. Templates go along with some of them. So quickly, here are some of the things that are covered in the modules. Lesson 1 is dedicated to helping you understand how to answer the first question, the number one challenge of every job seeker, deciding what you want. And then the second module is all about helping you gain the clarity and focus that you need when you're looking for your next job or career. The third module is all about the resume. It includes a template and helps you develop a resume that will get you invited for the interview. You don't get a job based on your resume. You get a job based on how well you interview and whether you are a good fit for the job description or not. So you start with the resume after you've decided where it is you want to go, and then you wind up with the interview. The resume module also includes a comprehensive list of up-to-date resume do's and don'ts and templates with an example for you to follow. Same thing for module 4. You learn how to write a cover letter, and there's a template included. You need to understand how the applicant tracking system works and why it's not your friend. This is the electronic software program that is sort of a gatekeeper and keeps your application and resume from ever landing on a human's desk. So you need to know how that works and how to work around it. You also need a compelling personal and professional in-person and online brand, and Module 6 addresses that. Module 7 is all about creating a powerful LinkedIn profile. Module 8 is about how you go about the research and creating the strategy and the plan of execution that you need in your total job search scheme of things. Lesson 9 is all about managing your social media footprint and making sure that everything looks good online so that you don't get tripped up by a picture that you didn't realize was out there that an potential employer could stumble across. You want to be able to prepare with confidence for the interview and then execute the interview with poise and precision. And the coaching I offer will help you to do that. There's a bonus article on the importance of developing that patience and persistence that I mentioned earlier, and also how it's so important for you not to ever give in to the panic you may feel on occasion when things aren't going exactly the way you might like. All of the coaching calls are recorded, and you can access the coaching calls from previous groups as well as from your own group. It's all in there as part of the program. In addition, you can get unlimited video reviews of your resume as many times as you want, your cover letter as many times as you want, and your LinkedIn profile as often as you need while you work on it and get it optimized. So I've had dozens of successful clients. Brooke was one of my first ones, and I'd like to share her success because not only did she share, and you can find her case study as well as the next individual on the website teachersintransition.com under case studies. Brooke shares that not only did she get the help she needed with her resume so that she landed a job that she's extremely happy in today, but she also took what she had learned from me in a workshop about mindfulness and meditation and stress management, and how she was using that with her students as she had created a Mindful Monday meditation for her colleagues and students in her school. She stayed in education. She just found a position that suited her much better than where she was when we first started working together. Nikki was also an early client. I also have a case study for her. She's a chemistry PhD and was teaching high school chemistry and feeling like she wasn't being able to use all of her talents the way she wanted to be in that position. So we tried to find a university or a college faculty position for her. What she described for me as her goal was that she wanted to be able to work teaching teachers how to teach chemistry effectively. And she found that. It took a while. She even turned down a couple of opportunities because she was wanting to be sure she made the right choice. But eventually she landed at a university in Florida where she seems to be extremely happy. Now, I'm not sure why you showed up for this particular presentation, but I suspect that it's because you're ready for a new chapter in your career. And I want to ask you, what would a new lease on life and a brand new career direction be worth to you? Some people might say it would be priceless, like the old MasterCard commercials. Many of the programs that are available for the same service that I'm offering today are available, but they're available for thousands of dollars, and they don't offer the kind of value or guarantee that I offer. The value of this particular program is well over $5,000 once you add in all of the bonuses, and the regular price of the program is $1,297, or you can get it in 6 equal payments of $225 billed every 30 days on your credit card. $225 would get you to the end of the 6-month period. You'd be paid up and ready to go. I also offer a payment plan for a year, but most people would prefer to be done paying sooner rather than later. Now, I'm offering a St. Patrick's Day special right now, and it's good through the end of March 31st at midnight, Eastern Standard Time. And the special is this: instead of $1,297 or $225 a month for 6 months, I'm offering as a St. Patrick's Day special $997 or $177 in 6 equal payments. That's a $300 savings over the regular price. The group coaching calls will occur on Monday evenings, 7 p.m. Daylight Saving Time, or Eastern Time. And we will start the first cohort meeting on April the 9th and run through August 27th. You'll have all summer to work on this and to have the help that you need, so that by the end of the summer, if you haven't landed your ideal job at that point, you will have an opportunity to continue to use the program, lifetime access to the program, so that you have an opportunity to continue to look until you're successful. But I'll be there for you for 6 months, unlimited email support. The group coaching calls are always recorded, so if something happens, you can't be on a call one night, no problem. You can watch the next day or that week. For a limited time only, I'm offering not 3 private consultations, which is normally part of the package, but 6 private consultations to take place over the course of the 6 months. I'm also offering a Courage, Risks, and Rewards bonus. This is a bonus that I recommend that people undertake first before they get into the Jumpstart program, because you want to be able to assess what is your level of risk aversion. Some people feel better about taking certain risks than others. If you don't have a high level of risk preference, then you're going to probably stay stuck longer. So this helps you to weigh the reward of taking certain risks. And you begin to realize that taking a certain amount of risk is a healthy thing. It's a positive thing. I'm also offering an additional ebook, The 3 Secrets of Every Successful Job Search or Career Change. It goes along with this presentation today. There's also a bonus, a 4-part video course that I recorded a while back called Vision the Life You Want and Set the Goals You Need to Get There, based on the book Goal Setting and Success, Make It Happen by Lynn Taylor. So that's an added bonus. It's worth almost $500. The result of all of this package is that I want you to have learned exactly what you need to know, and I want you to have been able to develop the tools and the mindset that you need to be successful. And the result is that you'll have those tools that you need. You'll understand what you need to do to conduct a successful job search or career change, and you will ultimately be successful. So, I want you to be thinking about questions that you can send me, and I'll be happy to answer them. You can shoot me an email at kittyboitnott@gmail.com. But let me anticipate a few of the questions you might have. One is, that sounds great, Kitty, and I wish I could afford it, but I don't have the money for that. And I get that. I was a teacher. I'm still on a limited budget. I don't have an extravagant budget, and I do budget. So I know where my money is going. I know how I'm allocating it. And you might consider this program a luxury or a frill, something you can't see your way clear to afford, unless you look at it as an investment, because that's what it really is. It's an investment in your future. Just like, $997 is about the price of a college course, right? So just like you might go back to school to take a course and to get a new certificate or add to your program as you work toward a master's degree, this investment is in the same ballpark. but you'll have tools that you can use for a lifetime, because the information you learn from this program will hold you in good stead for years to come. This next job that you work toward may not and probably shouldn't be your last job. In fact, I wouldn't recommend that your next job necessarily be your last job, because your next job's probably going to be a bridge between what you've been doing and where you want to be going ultimately. Very few people just automatically get to the top of their field. It's a progression. And depending on your age, of course, and where you are in your career, you may or may not be looking for your last career, but you're looking for a change and you're ready for your next step. Now, for some people, if money is really a challenge for you and you're in a position to use a credit card, I know I have an emergency credit card for the occasions when I feel like this is something I either have no choice about, for like an example, a root canal, or something unexpected that comes up, or a need to invest in a program like this, then I pull out that special card. And that's how I managed to get those things that maybe I haven't budgeted for, but I feel like in the end it's going to be something that I will be glad that I get. Another question that I get about the program is, how much time does it take? And I'm already so busy with school and after school activities and my family, and where will I find time to work this program? And that's a legitimate question, because it is another thing that you have to add to your already busy to-do list, right? But here's what I suggest. If you can, it's kind of like working on a dissertation. If you try to take on the whole thing at once, you will freeze with paralysis and you'll never get it done. That's why 50% of the people out there who started a doctoral program are all but dissertation, and they never get the dissertation done. So they're ABDs instead of doctor, whatever. So working a program like this is similar to biting off a chunk of an elephant, one bite at a time. I tell people, if you can just spend 10 minutes a day or an hour a weekend working on some aspect of the program, that you can be successful. You can complete it in a timely fashion. I'm giving you 6 months to work through it with my support, so that time should not be a major limiting factor. Now, having said that, I don't want you to think, well, I've got 6 months so I can start next month. That's not how this works. In order for you to be able to make the progress you need to get started. And the sooner you start, the sooner you will see the results. Now, some people want to know, well, what if it doesn't work for me? I get that it works for all these other people, but what if I'm unusual? What if it doesn't work for me? Fine, there's a money-back guarantee. In order to take the worry and concern out of it for you, I'm offering a 90-day money-back guarantee, with the caveat that in order to qualify for the full refund, you will need to have worked your way through at least half of the program. You have to stick with it for at least 90 days. If you've worked your way through half of the modules, you've done at least half of the calls, you've done half of the work, and you've taken at least half of the advice that I've offered in the course of the program, and you just feel like, this is not working for me. And I get that. I've had things like that happen to me. Works for everybody else, didn't work for me. I will honor a 90-day refund for you. I will refund whatever you've invested in the program up to that point. Your part of that deal, though, is that you have to do the work. You have to put in a good faith effort. You can't just decide, you know what, this was a mistake. I didn't want to do it. I'm not going to do it. And I'm just going to ask for my money back. It won't work that way. You have to do your part, meet me halfway, literally. And then if you can tell me why it's not working for you, what is failing to serve you, so that I can improve it for the next person, then you get the money back that you've put into it. Now, it may be that you really just aren't ready to do anything right now. Maybe you're in a fact gathering, information gathering mode. Right now you're curious as to what the program looks like and what I had to say, and maybe you want to use the information to move forward on your own, or maybe not. Maybe you're just okay with being stuck for right now. Without movement, without action, that's probably where you'll stay stuck. And it may be that you simply aren't in enough pain yet to create the impetus that you need in order to take some action right now. If that's the case, you'll probably be back at some point down the line, because the pain will only increase unless you figure out a way to deal with it. And there are two ways to deal with the stress and strain and burnout of a teaching career. Either learn how to deal with the stress, and I can help with that too. I'm a stress management coach. Or change careers. Those are your two options. I can help with either one. Today I'm talking about the career transition option, but there are other options for managing your stress more effectively if that's what you need to do. You want to continue to teach. You just need to manage your stress better. That's a possibility. Now, you may also be thinking, this is not brain surgery. It's not rocket science. I can figure this out on my own. And you probably can, eventually. I guarantee the trial and error method will cost you money and time in the long run. So, that's just the fact of the matter. Without proper training and proper understanding and the proper tools and knowing how to make those tools work for you, you will not be able to go about your job search or your career transition with the same level of confidence. There will always be that little voice in the back of your head. Is this right? Am I doing this right? Is this going to be right? Is it? And you'll always let that stand in the way of your feeling like you're on the right track. It's been said that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, and I don't want you to feel like you're practicing insanity. So I don't recommend that you keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Doing the same thing over and over again only produces the same unhappy results. So doing something different may be what is required for you. So here's the link that I would like for you to feel free to use if you would like to join the April group coaching cohort for 6 months of coaching, 6 months of support, and the full 10-module program that I've described with all of the bonuses that I've covered today. Go to teachersinTransition.com/St. Patrick's Day Special. No period, no hyphens, no capital letters. Just St. Patrick's Day Special after teachersinTransition.com/. Just to recap, here's what you get. You get the complete online digitized program, 10 modules, lifetime access, 6 months of unlimited email support to go along with the program, unlimited video reviews of your resume, your cover letters, your LinkedIn profile, 12 group coaching calls over the course of the 6-month period, access to a private Facebook page for extra support and supplemental resources, a bonus of 6 private one-on-one consultations that can be scheduled over the course of the 6 months. And when you throw in all of those bonuses, the total cost value of the program is now well over $5,500. You get the bonus of the extra ebook in addition to the one you're getting today. You get the Courage, Risks, and Rewards program. You get the 4-part course on visioning the life you want and setting the goals you need to get you there. And you get the 6 personal consultations. You know, Henry Ford famously said, if you think you can or think you can't, you're right. Either way, you're right. So I want to help you get started. I want you to believe in yourself and to believe in your potential and believe that you can create for yourself a different life from the one you currently have. I want you to believe that the job of your dreams is available to you. You just have to know how to find it. I want to help you create the new life that you want for yourself and leave the old life behind. I'd love for you to be my next case study and to join the other teachers who have found their next calling. The future is now, and there's no time like now to take action. So go to teachersintransition.com/St. Patrick's Day Special. Now, I promised if you stuck around, you'd get a book. In order to get it, you need to email me at kittyboitnott@gmail.com. I will send it straight away to you. You'll get 10 things you need to know if you think you're ready for a job or career change. And if you sign up right now for the program, I will also throw in an extra fast action bonus, a 7-part course on managing your stress. This is an additional $397 value, but it only goes to the people who sign up right now as you're listening to the sound of my voice. To get in on the fast action bonus, sign up at teachersintransition.com/St. Patrick's Day Special. And happy St. Patrick's Day to you, whether it's March 17th or later in the week. This program is going to be up and running for 2 weeks after St. Patrick's Day. The deadline, the cutoff for signing up for this St. Patrick's Day special is March 31st at midnight Eastern. So if you're interested, don't forget to go to teachersintransition.com/St. Patrick's Day Special. St. Patrick's Day Special. With any other questions that you may have, please feel free to email me at kittyboitnott@gmail.com or give me a call at 804-404-5475. I hope you've learned something today. I hope you've gotten something out of this presentation. Please contact me if you have any questions at all. I'd love for you to join us, and I hope you will consider joining us for the April cohort. I would be thrilled to have you be part of our group. Thanks for now.